Here's our Sig Test 2 solutions. Absolute value is like parentheses, so you have to do what's inside. So it's -4 minus 9, and that gives you -13, and then the absolute value of -13 is 13, minus 18 is -5. You have to do what's inside parentheses, so it's 20 minus 25. That gives me 5, and then you square it, and you get the 25. I have to multiply before I subtract or add, so that's how I got the 50, and then you just subtract and add. F of -2 means you're plugging in -2 for the x, so it's -2 squared, which is 4. 4 minus 12 is -8. H of 1 means my x is 1, so I plug in 1 and I get out 3. X, I'm finding x when h of x is -2, so that's like my y. So I go to my y and I go over, oh, my x is -1. G of x equals 11, that's my y, so I plug it in for the y, and I get 11 equals 2x minus 7, and then add 7 to both sides, divide by 2, get 9. Both of these are not functions, since they're not very consistent. When I plug a 4 in, I get a 3 or I get a 4. It's not consistent. If I plug -2 in, I can get a 2 or a -1/2. Can't have two y values for one x. Every x gets one y value. Alright, my domain is all my x values. My smallest x is all the way down here at -5. The open circle means it can't be equal to it. My largest x value goes all the way to infinity because I have an arrow that continues on forever. It's infinity. And then -infinity is my smallest y because the arrow goes on forever down here. And my largest y is up here at 3. And it can equal 3 because it's filled in. My smallest x value is -infinity all the way up till 5, and it's filled in dots, so it's equal to it. My range is my smallest y value, which is -4, all the way up to 4. Four squared, 16, x cubed squared, y squared. Okay, then 16 times 2, x to the 6 times x to the second, y to the second, y to the fourth. And then I have to square this guy first, so that's how I got the 9, the a to the fourth, and the b to the second. And then 5 times 9 is 45. A to the first times a to the fourth is a to the fifth. And then b to the third. And then 45 over 15 reduces to 3 over 1. A to the fifth over a. Subtract the exponents. It's 5 minus 1. Gives me a to the fourth. And b to the third over b to the fifth. Subtract the exponents. You get -2. So that's b to the 2 in the denominator. Now I'm solving the equations. Subtract 20 from each side to get the 4x by itself. Divide by the 4, and you just get that little fraction. I added 5x to both sides because I like to get my x's on one side first. I added 10 to both sides. That's how I got the 40. And divide by 8 on each side, and you get the 5. I always like to combine like terms first. And since they're the exact same thing on each side, then any number I plug in would be the right answer. Combine like terms, combine like terms, combine like terms, combine like terms. I would add x to both sides, so this ends up being a 6x. I would add 6 to both sides, and -6 plus 6 would be 0. So divide by 6 on each side and you get 0. And the last problem, I noticed that we added 4 tiles each time. So I took away 4 tiles to get back to here. So it started off with 4. It's increasing by 4. And if you plug in 50, you get out 204.